in the Toyota Bluegrass Stakes.
It is Saturday, April 4th, Toyota Bluegrass Day and Santa Anita Derby Day, as we have the final set of prep races for the Kentucky Derby, with one last big chance next weekend in the Arkansas Derby. I had selections from Keeneland, from Santa Anita, from Tampa, where it's Florida Cup Day, and from Aqueduct and locally at Gulfstream Park as I kick off my Road to the Breeders' Cup handicapping project. We'll go through the Triple Crown and through the early summer races. Then in July, we'll be off to Europe as we cruise from Budapest to Amsterdam. Then upon our return, I will undertake a daily handicapping project from Woodbine in Toronto, which will be highlighted by a trip to Toronto and the Woodbine Mile in September. And then the racing project will finish with our trip to the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland at the end of October. And so today, the 3-year-olds were in the spotlight. I picked up my first win in the opener at Gulfstream. We were on the turf, a non-winners of 2 claiming event. I like number 8, Biedermeier. He was 5-2 second choice in the program, left the post at 6-5, and he scored for me to bring my first win of the summer/fall Road to the Breeders' Cup handicapping project. I came right back in the second at Keeneland, originally scheduled for a mile on the turf, but it was moved to the main track, 8.5 furlongs with the first finish line, because Friday had seen torrential rainstorms which had caused the cancellation of the last 3 races on the opening day card. We're still on the turf for the big stakes races, but not for the undercard. I had liked Taglib on the turf, but I had also seen Hazards of Love as a main track only, and he looked tons the best to me if it was moved to the main track. Well, the crowd agreed with me as I doubled the bet on the 3-5 favorite, Hazards of Love. My third win of the day came at Keeneland in their third race, where I liked Wisecracker. Wisecracker had debuted with a best of the rest second to Todd Pletcher's star colt, Kozan. Kozan came back to dominate allowance foes and would have been the prohibitive favorite in the Florida Derby last Saturday. However, he was injured in his preparations for that race. Wisecracker came back on the undercard on Swale Stakes Day, and he was a best of the rest second again, this time to Ready to Rye, who was a short price favorite in the Bayshore today in New York. Today, Wisecracker was stretching out to 2 turns, and he sat off the pace, rallied through the turn, and drew off as much the best as I doubled the bet on the 4-5 favorite Wisecracker. My first stakes win of the day came on the Florida Cup card at Tampa. It was the 7th. We were going 9 furlongs on the turf, and it was the Tampa Turf Classic. Old Time Hockey had won this race last year, coming off of a good effort on the dirt. Well, his last race this year in preparation for the Tampa Turf Cup was a good second behind General A-Rod in the Challenger Stakes on the dirt. He was sitting mid-pack as he hit the far turn, made his move.
Starting to bunch up with a half mile still to run, and Senior Habanero at 72 to 1 and still the leader. I'm the lucky one second. That Dad is poised and ready to pounce on the outside third. Then it's 2.5 lengths farther back. Old Time Hockey and Ronnie Allen Jr. now sucks him down for the drive, but meanwhile up front, I'm the lucky one, and Eric Rodriguez made first run. Old Time Hockey swings to the outside. Senior Habanero is toward the rail, and Bad Dad inside the final furlong. I'm the lucky one is desperately looking for the winner, and Old Time Hockey is flying on the outside. Those 2 in a driving finish. Old Time Hockey might have got up in the shot of the wire.
Tripled the bet, cash for over $20. I came right back with my second stakes on the Tampa card in the Stonehead Sophomore Fillies, going 7 furlongs, where I liked R. Sassy Lass. R. Sassy Lass, 2 races back, had won the Sandpipers Stakes just up in time here at Tampa. Then she shipped to Gulfstream and was a good second in the Grade 3 Old Hat. So today she was returning to her winning track and a surface which she obviously liked. She made her move, cruising up on the outside as it hit the far turn.
R. Sassy Lass cruising up on the outside and ready to pounce third.
cashed for nearly $30. I hit my first graded stakes win in the Grade 1 Ashland at Keeneland. This is for 3-year-old sophomore fillies looking to stamp their ticket to the Kentucky Oaks. My pick was number 6, Lovely Maria, who had not even won a stakes race yet, much less a graded stakes. She has been in the shadow of her more heralded stablemate, I'm a Chatterbox, who'd rattled off 3 straight graded stakes win-ins at the fairgrounds and is the early favorite for the Kentucky Oaks. Today, the crowd settled on her as the 9-5 favorite. Lovely Maria made her move for trainer Larry Jones, who also trains I'm a Chatterbox, on the far
Angela
turn.
Renee has taken the lead just before the quarter pole. Lovely Maria to second. Temperament Patty drops back along the inside. Last of the Mohicans goes to third. Silver Pockets Full is fourth. Into the short stretch. Coming to the final furlong of the Ashland, Lovely Maria wrestles the lead away from Angela Renee, who's now second. Final furlong, Lovely Maria for Kerwin Boo Boo Clark, opening up by a length and a half. And Kerwin Clark scores his first career Grade 1 victory, taking the Ashland with Lovely Maria.
Cash for almost $30 on that one. I hit my next Grade 1 in the bet of the day in the Grade 1 $1 million Bluegrass Stakes. I like number 5 Carpe Diem, as did almost everyone else. I had this guy as my best bet of the day last August in his 5.5 furlong sprint debut at Saratoga, where he romped. Off of that, he shipped to Keeneland, went from 5.5 furlongs to 8.5 furlongs, from a maiden race to the Grade 1 Breeders' Futurity, much the best that day. He was then my pick in the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile, where he had a troubled trip and he was a good second. He made his sophomore debut about 6 weeks ago at Tampa Bay in the Grade 2 Tampa Bay Derby, tons the best, with a career high figure, and he wasn't even asked. I thought he was sitting
Out running to do, they come to the quarter pole. Ocho, trying to take it all the way up front for Santiago Gonzalez, chased all the way by Carpe Diem. Classy Class is third, Danzig Moon, and with a shot in fourth on the outside. Carpe Diem takes the lead. John Velasquez, a quick peek over his right shoulder. Danzig Moon coming. Ocho fought hard, but he's third. Final furlong of the Toyota Bluegrass. It will be Carpe Diem rolling through Lexington and headed on for Churchill Downs. He wins it. Danzig.
100 to win, cash for nearly $150. Bet of the day. I came right back in less than 10 minutes in the Grade 1 Santa Anita Oaks. Stellar Win was my top pick. She'd been impressive in her last start, a graded stakes win here where she came from off the pace and had prompted many writers to tab her as a legitimate Kentucky Oaks favorite. She was well back as they hit the far turn in the Oaks.
Like the City now being sent along as 4 off them. Now there goes Stellar Wind on the far side, and Stellar Wind starting a run now. Stellar Wind, Green Cap on the far side, going all the way up to second, then back to Singing Kitty. They come to the quarter pole and Luminance is the leader, but Stellar Wind has made this big run to take her on now behind that Wild at Heart. They're at the top of the lane in the Santa Anita Oaks now, and Stellar Wind, she's made this big looping run and strikes the front. Luminance is in second. Past the 8th pole they come now, and it's Stellar Wind going greedily for the wire here, and it's Stellar Wind. An absolutely scintillating performance today. Stellar Wind and Victor Espinosa could not have been more impressive in the Santa Anita Oaks.
Over $33 with my third Grade 1 win of the day. And I closed out the day in the Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby. Everyone liked Dortmund. He was 1-9 early in the betting, and I thought we'll be lucky to get 1-5. I mean, after all, this guy's 5 for 5, facing basically the same crew as he did before. Some people said it was a slightly tougher group. I didn't think so at all. I thought he looked to dominate. He bobbled at the start, but went right to the front of Martin Garcia. The fractions were fast, but as they hit the far turn, He opened up.
Half mile left to go now in the Santa Anita Derby, and Dortmund is striding on for home, and Dortmund now gets a tap on the shoulder to kick away from them. One Lucky Dane crossed the line. Bolo on the outside. Prospect Park under pressure. Heads a turn for home in the $1 million Santa Anita Derby, and Dortmund has opened up on them, and it's Dortmund gone clear now to lead it by 4. Bolo down the center of the track. One Lucky Dane. Prospect Park down at the rail. They're all chasing Dortmund, who's clear by 5 with a 16th to go. And Dortmund, another superb performance. Never looked like losing the Santa Anita Derby. Romps to an easy win under Martin Garcia.
$50 to win on Dortmund. My 9th win of the day, my 6th stakes win of the day, my 4th Grade 1 win of the day. Next week, it's the last of the Triple Crown preps. It's the Grade 1 Arkansas Derby at Oaklawn Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and Kim and I will be there.